Hello, my name is David Baugh, and I have Brandon Gallagher with me today. We wanted to try something a little bit different. We are going to be discussing movies, and we figured since it's the holidays, we wanted to talk about our favorite Christmas movies. So stay tuned and listen up.
We're missing Santa hats.
We should have Santa hats, but we don't have Santa hats. So, before we get into our favorite Christmas movies of all time, we are going to start with just, ease into it a little bit. We're going to start with some movie news. You want to take that away, Brandon?
I'll open with the question.
Okay.
Who was your favorite part in Mary Poppins?
I'm going to have to say Mary Poppins. Because it's Mary Poppins.
You're a sad, sad man.
I know what you're trying to get me to say.
I know. What do you think about Dick Van Dyke, though?
Oh, well, I love Dick Van Dyke. He's just good.
He's back.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy.
He's
awesome. Like, what, 90 years old, and he's back for Mary Poppins 2. I don't know. And he says that he's going to be doing some singing. Well, that's not going to hinder him. The man has a voice of an angel.
He's going to do his own dancing,
and he's going to be doing his own dancing. He is a god among actors,
See, I'm 29 and I don't want to do my own dancing. Like, if I was going to be in a musical and he's like 90 something, like, there's no way.
If I were to take dancing lessons from anyone in the world, world class, like, ballroom dancers, anybody,
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
He had that show.
Dude.
The Dick Van Dyke Show.
He did. Dude, he was in The Music Man, for God's sake. I'm kidding.
I hate The Music Man.
We've gone over this. Why do you hate The Music Man so much?
Because I was in that play in high school.
So was I!
And it was just not a good experience. I was Constable Locke.
Oh, so was I. And the conductor. I pulled double duty in that. Actually, triple, because I was also in the chorus.
Wait. I did those same parts.
And I loved it.
I was also in the train at the beginning.
Were you the conductor?
I
was the conductor.
I think I was businessman number 1 or something.
So you didn't do shit.
Well, no, I had to sing a little bit, and we had to like bounce.
Oh yeah, we had to bounce because you're not gonna have like the tracks. And
I remember, and we started the play, and I was doing that.
That's how it starts because he's on the train coming to.
Yeah, he was talking to a salesman.
Yeah,
that's funny. I can't believe we heard the same parts. Oh, it was terrible.
I loved it.
I hated it.
God, it was so fun.
Anyway.
But yeah, he is back with a vengeance.
That's pretty good.
I'm so excited for that, dude. I will watch that because of him.
Another thing that's coming up, I know that you've probably heard of the Power Rangers remake they're making.
I've seen the trailer. It looks pretty cool. Like,
it looks decent.
I'm excited for Zordon because it's being played by Bryan Cranston.
Well, they've just announced that there's going to be a sequel to that already.
But they don't know how it's going to do, though. That's the thing.
No, they don't. So it could be hit or miss. Like, the first one could just flop altogether, and they've already started. I think they've already started putting the stuff together. So I guess we'll see. That's a bit disappointing.
I mean, the second one could be straight to DVD for all we know.
I mean, Power Rangers is pretty tired at this point.
Power Rangers.
Yeah. It's
I thought Bandai went out of business, in all honesty.
No, they've been making them. There's Power Rangers Ninja Storm. There's Power Rangers like Dino whatever.
I kind of want to go back and watch the original Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, right.
Who is in that one? Who played the Ooze guy?
I don't remember. I do not remember. I do know that the guy that was the White Ranger fights in the UFC.
Oh yeah, he was the white and
wins
green.
His fights.
He was the white and green Ranger.
Yeah, and wins his fights.
And I know the Pink Ranger is still
high.
Quite a bit of eye candy there.
Anyway, let's talk about our favorite Christmas movies of all time. So this time we decided we are going with A Christmas Vacation. Which is about a man that wants to have the perfect Christmas, and a series of sort of unfortunate happenings take place, and he ultimately, does what he can. If you haven't seen it, it's 30 years old.
You should be seeing it by now.
We're probably going to spoil parts of this for you, but I'm assuming that if you haven't seen it yet,
it's their fault.
Then you're probably not going to. You've had every opportunity.
Year after year after year.
Year after year after year. So if it gets ruined for somebody, or if you would prefer, you can pause this, go watch that, and then come back. But we're going to break it down the same way that we do every movie on this channel. We're going to go by story, pacing, acting, cinematography, and execution. How did you feel about the story of A Christmas Vacation?
I thought it was okay. I mean, like I said, like we talked about earlier, every vacation movie, it's pretty much the same plot. I mean,
Yeah, to an extent. They
Chevy
didn't go
chases Chevy. No, that's how it switched up. They stayed home, but Clark Griswold always gets into some fiasco. He gets injured. Blah 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 blah. Same stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He does some corny things. Injures
does.
himself. In a way, I look at it as slapstick comedy.
I'd say that's pretty accurate. That's definitely.
But I
what
mean,
that
it's
movie is.
still good. I still enjoy it. I got a good chuckle out of it, especially with him dealing with the saleswoman in the mall there. Excuse me, sir. Can I help you? Oh yeah, I'm just shopping for my wife.
She's not with
girlfriend.
us anymore.
My wife. Yeah, she's not with.
I'm so sorry. No, she's not dead. She's
just not here with me.
We're just divorced. Oh, it's so good. I will definitely give it to him for story, because I was thinking watching it again this time that it's not just the same movie that you would expect. They didn't cut any corners. I didn't think they didn't. They really told a cohesive story all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
The guy and they did it in such a way that they're not beating you over the head with the story. It's just that's
there
the story.
is.
Yeah, and I felt like they did a good job with it.
So I guess I'll give him the point for that one.
Yeah, I'll give him the point
for that one.
I'll give him the point. So that's each of us one total point, I suppose.
Yeah.
Next one would be pacing.
Pacing, I'm not gonna give him the point on that one.
Not giving him a point.
No. It dragged out. Like I say, like the way that I look at it, because they're not traveling, so it's not going to be as fast paced with the storyline, nor.
Yeah,
because they're not going from point A to point B to da 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 da. They're in the same spot, so they kind of have to reach for.
I can see that.
Their punchlines and stuff like that. Granted, they were good punchlines. I mean,
they were good. I will give them the point on pacing, and my reasoning behind this is I feel like pacing is the kind of moving forward of the story, and I felt like for them specifically, they were moving forward at their own pace.
Okay.
Like they set their pace and they stuck with it. It's
to
not
it.
like it's like, oh yeah, we're going really fast and then we're going
down.
slow. It's like, like they had to draw it out, but only because it's like, well, yeah, this joke works, but only if we show you this piece, and then we show you this piece, and then this piece,
then you get the payoff.
Then you get the payoff, which is it does kind of draw it out a little bit further.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was pretty well done. I mean, it's only like a 2-hour movie.
Not
right?
even.
Not even. It was like an hour and a half.
An hour and a half, something like that.
That's pretty on point where you want to be,
I like it.
So I'll give it to him for that. Next we have acting.
Acting. If we're going with the main cast,
I would say everybody.
Okay, if we're gonna go everybody, I'm gonna give it to them. I mean, like I said, the main cast, the parents pretty much stay the same. It's the same, slapstick comedy, stuff like that. The kids are growing, so that's where I'm gonna give it to them. Because the kids, as they grow older, they're gonna be in different stages of their lives, different humor styles, stuff like that. I mean,
I can definitely
Rusty.
see
Dude, Rusty's on point with the
on
lights.
Point. He was on point.
He's just like, here, hold these, and it's just like the pile of lights are the size of this child, and so you don't see Rusty. He disappears.
Like 20,000 bulbs or something.
Pretty much, and he's just like, you're gonna have to check every single one.
He's like, I gotta
go.
And some homework.
But he did it. He stuck to it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay, I'll give it to him for that. And then the aunt is probably my favorite part.
Oh, she was great.
Because they tell her to say grace, and she starts reciting the Pledge of Allegiance in the middle of Christmas dinner.
Right.
And then they all stand up, put their hands over their hearts, and continue on.
And every single person in that movie is on point through the whole time. Like, there was never a time that I felt like somebody dropped character wasn't playing that part
And I
up to
haven't
the
seen
fullest.
that movie in quite a few years, so
It still holds up.
It holds up, and I was shocked because I didn't know that Raymond's mom was in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, she has red hair. I've
She's
only
good.
seen her with white hair.
Yeah.
I was
It's
scared.
weird. This is weird. I'll definitely give them the point for it.
I'll give him the point.
So I guess we are in agreement on that one. We'll
Yep.
go to cinematography next.
On point.
On point.
Especially with...
On point. That movie does not exist without cinematography, I don't think.
It really doesn't. I mean the jokes with the cat...
The actors were so great, but, I mean, the way that they showed it plays those jokes so effectively. Like, the editing in it, the shots that they got. There's so many really great inserts. Like,
and just
not only the cat exploding,
but turkey.
But then the outline of the cat on the carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Was just on point.
But
and
the way they executed the turkey, what does he say in there? He's just like, if this tastes as good as
this tastes half as good as it looks, then we're in
just,
for a treat. And then it just blows up.
And they sit there and you see them like eating what's like left of the turkey.
They really try and eat it.
And I think you could kind of see like the smirks.
Yeah.
I could sense them on the verge of breaking character.
It's so good.
With what little they had to eat.
And I've seen this movie so many times, and I was still laughing out loud, even just at cutaways. Because I felt like so much of this movie is shown instead of told to you. Execution. We'll move on. Execution of this movie. I'm giving it to him.
I'm going to give it that point.
It was really well done.
Well paced, like everything, dude.
I think every little bit paid off exactly how I wanted it to. You know, it's just on point all the way through. But I guess total, you gave it 4 out of 5. I gave it 5 out of 5, so we're at 4.5 stars out of 5, which is pretty phenomenal.
It's pretty awesome.
Definitely one of the better Christmas movies of all time.
So, up next, we do have my favorite, because I grew up with it as a kid, A Muppet Christmas Carol. So a greedy businessman basically learns the error of his ways after being visited by 3 ghosts, and he learns the meaning of Christmas.
Mm-hmm. We've definitely all heard the...
Pretty straightforward. We've all heard the story.
Charles Dickens, great storyteller.
Great storyteller. And they even
really
say that in the movie, because Gonzo plays Charles Dickens, and they're sitting there outside of Ebenezer Scrooge's house, and he starts saying what's about to happen, and Rizzo's just like, how do you even know this? He's like, well, it's the skill of a great storyteller, because I wrote it.
Yeah. I am not... See, if I'm going to go A Christmas Carol, the 1984 live-action version
I've never
of Christmas
seen that.
Carol, it's my favorite.
I've never seen it.
I saw it before I saw A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Really?
Granted,
well,
I really like puppets in general. I mean, I just made that puppet movie.
Exactly.
So,
Gerard.
You know, I definitely appreciated it far more than I did when I was a kid. Just having constructed my own puppets, put them all together, and filmed a movie with it. It's like, it's really, really difficult. You know, it's like, I had thought I was prepared for that movie, and, you know, it's really hard. It's really hard to do puppets, and they did puppets really well.
So what do you think about pacing-wise?
Pacing, I will give it to them because I felt like they kept their pace well. But I think we skipped over story, didn't we?
Well, I can go into different...
I don't know. We gotta do
well, I can get back to story.
Story. So here's the deal with pacing. I'll give it to them for pacing. I won't give it to them for story.
I'm gonna switch
I liked
those.
the way that it went through pacing. Like when they had the story, but it's a tired old story, man. It's been around for so long.
All right.
And like, yeah, I enjoyed what the Muppets brought to the story, and it was its own sort of original piece. But at the same time, there's only so much of A Christmas Carol that I can handle, and
I can handle all of it. I can handle all of it.
It just is what it is. It's, you know.
I'm gonna switch those two.
You're going to switch those. You're going to give it to it for story and
I'm going to give it to it for story because I just, like I said, I grew up with the Muppet versions and I love the Muppets. So,
yeah.
Across the board, I'm going to awesome. Even on my card. Muppets rule. There you go. Straightforward. Pacing wise, no, because it slowed itself down because it's a Muppets movie. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have musical numbers, and that's slowed it down.
Why I'm not faulting them for that is because you expect it.
I know, I expect it, but
they're puppets. Their audience is a much younger audience.
It's true.
I felt like, okay, I can.
I don't know.
You're bringing that story to a younger audience. You slow it down and you add music and.
I just felt even as older, I felt it was pretty slow because usually children's movies, I'm just like, I'll go in sometimes when I'm with my younger cousins or something like that, like Finding Dory. It's like I go in there, boom, it's done. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't even remember walking into the theater, and it's done. It's fast. This one was not as fast.
No, it definitely drags.
And
although we have
dark.
seen it, I couldn't even begin
I
to
can't even tell you how many times.
So that may have something to do with it. But for that, I won't give it to him.
All right. So we had story, we had pacing.
Acting would be
acting.
Next, yeah.
What do you got?
I will give it to them for acting. I respect puppeteers. It's much harder than it is to act normally.
Yeah.
Because
not only do you have to verbalize, but you have to
verbalize. You're taking
with the
all
physicality.
Of your,
you have to also double up with the physicality.
You have to get into all sorts of weird and varied positions to be able to do that.
But I don't know if that was the case then, because you know how they've got the two different levels.
They would have had to build the two different levels, but you're still under there, and you've got some dude breathing on your neck the whole time.
But at the same time, you saw the rats and the penguins and stuff like that sliding across the set and
you could definitely
walking on there.
You could definitely tell when a puppet was CG'd and when the puppet was actually there, I felt. And there were a lot of them that were triggered off screen.
Yeah.
Like the little rabbit puppet. Like,
they
had that downward over the shoulder shot of the rabbit doing the carol.
The rabbit hobo. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't do that. You can't do that because you could see the floor. So there can't be somebody underneath it unless they had just a.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. That is one of the only times that I've ever laughed at the homeless. Is when he slams the door in the rabbit's face and he goes flying.
And then he comes out and throws that thing at him.
He throws the wreath at him. And he says,
but I was watching that shot and I was like, oh my God, how are they doing this? Like they must have had some sort of wire going up to it with a little rigging. That's complicated. I'll give them that. I have a lot of respect for puppeteers just in general. And not only that, Michael Caine did great.
See, like I'm going back to the childhood thing. I didn't pay attention much to all that stuff. So this is the first time in years that I've watched this film. And I was like, I just had this weird grin about me. And I was like, that's Michael Caine.
It's Michael Caine.
Oh my God.
It's Michael Caine.
Like that.
You don't even expect it.
No. Really. And he looked young. How old is he now?
He's up there.
Is he in his 90s now?
No, I don't think he's that old, is he? I thought he was in his 80s though.
Maybe. But that
I thought like earlier.
And he still had dark hair when this was going on.
He did, yeah.
So
and sort of longer hair too, which was weird.
Oh, yeah. So he must have been in his 70s, 60s. He didn't have that many wrinkles in his face as he does now. So
yeah.
But no, I was blown away.
He did a great job,
and he did so good. The only thing that I was just like, why? Was when he broke down crying in front of his grave. I wasn't feeling it.
You didn't like that part?
I just felt like, because from
an
acting perspective, I just felt like it seemed kind of. Don't get me wrong, he's a legend. I love him to death, but I was just like, that seems like a really fake cry.
See, I liked it because he was so standoffish the rest of the time.
Oh, that I love.
Felt like it
that
showed
is
a very good arc. Like he definitely thought about it. Mm-hmm. Prior to doing it, like he had every scene I felt like sort of planned out the way that he would want. And I also liked that he didn't just play up the puppets. Like he wasn't winking and stuff. And it was very straight sort of portrayal of Scrooge.
And now I will never look at Alfred the same, in all honesty.
No.
I kind of think of Alfred as a jerk now.
Because of
Scrooge. Because of Scrooge.
There you go.
Like I just imagine Alfred being a complete jerk to young Bruce Wayne, saying bah humbug and throwing Reeves in little Bruce's face.
There you go.
I don't think he would go as far as to call Bruce an orphan.
But very well may.
I digress. He could have. But so that, I mean, and all around, like the characters of the Muppets. You had everybody.
They did great, yeah.
And then Sam the Eagle with that one bit where he was dealing with young, Ebenezer Scrooge.
I thought
and he was like, you could be the next best American businessman. And I forget who interrupts him. I think it's Gonzo, and he's like, yo, we're in Britain.
This is Britain, guys.
This is Britain. Oh, you're going to be the next best British businessman.
Yeah. They cast it really well.
Oh, God, that was so great.
Like the parts that they gave to those people were just on point.
Right? But Miss Piggy's children and Kermit's children kind of creep me out.
Looking.
Not Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim
was on point.
Tiny Tim was on.
Those
two twins.
Just hideous puppets.
And the way that they talk
and especially
in unison.
Standing right next to Miss Piggy, it's like clearly you did the same thing here, but like.
And there's, I mean, it's a frog and a pig. Granted, I'm going a little.
So I'll give it the point on acting.
It was good.
So that's 2 points on acting.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that there's a movie. Granted, there really isn't any Christmas movie that's ever going to get old.
I don't know.
Or drawn out.
Christmas movies
There actually, no. I will say this. There is a movie that will be drawn out and get very fast. And it's coming out next year. The Grinch. They are doing a CGI version.
We should
get
back on topic. I don't want to talk about.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch, bro. Yeah.
That's a terrible choice.
Actually, I love that guy. Doctor Strange, bro.
Cinematography. Let's go to cinematography.
Awesome.
Very well done. Very, very well done. Yeah. The little towns that they built.
The set, the set, everything. When he was flying through the town, you saw like the rooftops.
And Gonzo hanging on.
He knocks over the chimney on one of them.
Yeah. Really well done. Really well done. And then the puppet that was the Ghost of Christmas Past they put in the
That's right. You were telling me about this earlier. Because I never knew how they did that. I didn't know if that was first
such a subtle effect.
CGI
you can't really tell. But
puppetry.
They did it underwater and then green screened it in, which is insane. That's
cool. For
the time that they were doing it.
Like that. Well, that came out in 1991.
Yeah.
So that is actually a feat in itself, the way that they did that.
Yeah, I mean they were doing CG and like very light green screening work at that point, but they're definitely not creating.
Because that flying through towards Christmas.
Yeah.
Past.
They would have the green screen.
That was green screen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Still, it's crazy.
Awesome. So yeah, I give it all marks across the board.
And then execution would be the last one.
Execution. Solid.
Yeah, definitely giving it the point for that one. So that's 4 stars out of 5.
Still
I gave it one
regardless.
Off for story. I still love it too. Yeah, 4 out of 5 stars is wonderful. It's a great movie.
And now I kind of want to go watch Muppet Treasure Island because I haven't seen that one in years.
It was good.
And I'm just trying to think. Who was in that one? Who played the pirate captain? That was oh God, why can't I think of his name?
The guy from
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah. It starts with a C.
I feel really bad right now.
I don't know. Let's move on.
But he's awesome.
Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about some things that are going to be coming up. We want to talk about a few trailers that we just saw that look awesome.
Some that don't.
I guess. The first one, Blade Runner. What are your thoughts about Blade Runner?
I don't know if I've actually seen Blade Runner all the way through, but
what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but my God.
You've never seen Blade Runner?
This looks awesome.
I've seen Blade Runner
Not all the way
times.
through. Not all the way through, but
It's so good.
holy crap! This
When Harrison
looks...
Ford comes in the trailer, though.
When Harrison Ford walks in through like the shadows, and what did he say? He said something along the lines of, "I
used to be great at your job."
Yeah.
So good.
And Adam Driver's supposed to be in this too. He was not in the trailer though, so I'm kind of curious as to see what he's gonna do. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Great choice.
My doppelganger. From
he's sort of the Harrison Ford of this time, I suppose you could say. He's done a lot of good work.
Well, no. Then regardless, yeah. But he's not as big of like an action hero. He
was in Drive. He was in
Drive.
Only God Forgives.
But he
really
does
good.
a lot of. He's known for his romantic.
He was a Disney
film.
Channel star too.
He was. He was on with Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good.
M-I-C-K-E-Y.
Really good. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Next movie, John Wick 2.
I have not seen the first one.
I am so excited about it. The first one was awesome.
And
the death count, they just slay so many people in that movie.
I did get to watch this trailer though, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch the first. I'm gonna have to go
really
watch
good.
the first one because that does look
man.
really cool.
There's so many headshots in it, so much death and destruction. It looks just like the first one. It looks like they're gonna kill his dog again, which you don't do.
Wait, there's a doggy death?
Yeah, in the first one. That's the whole point of the story, was that they killed, like, his wife died in the first one.
Yeah,
and she left him a puppy.
And they kill the puppy?
They killed this puppy. And
I don't know if I can watch this, dude.
They kill his puppy and they steal his car.
That's messed
which he's got
up.
a badass car. And then the whole movie is just like him getting back at them for doing that. It looks like he got a new dog. And they killed the dog in this one.
I don't know if I can watch this, dude. I love dogs.
Dude, it's so good. It was so good. But that is all that we have for you tonight.
There is one trailer that we did get to watch that we were not impressed with. Emojis, the movie.
Yeah.
There was a teaser trailer that came out, and it was performed by the
It looks
face.
It looks super lackluster. The
Well,
highlight
it was
is
performed by the meh face, so it wasn't gonna be uplifting or anything like that.
I mean, even on the poster, it was like, what is it? Shit happens is their tagline, and
it's a children's movie, so I don't think that they're gonna put that on there.
well, it's crap emoji. Like
Poop happens.
something
Poop does happen,
It
kids.
just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all.
And I
will
looked
not
up
see
the
it.
cast, and I don't know anybody in it.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
Except for... Oh, wait. Is he in it? I don't know. No, that was another thing that I looked up. So I don't know anybody in this movie. There's like 3 people on the cast list, and I've never heard of...
I will wait and reserve my judgment.
For the full trailer?
I don't...
Because that was just a teaser.
Yeah.
A teaser of nothing.
Nothing. It just looks bad. But until next time, when we're going to be shooting whales in the Antarctic, we will see you then.
Wait, what?